Hello friends, this is tutorial number 61 in this C++ language programming tutorials. In this tutorial we will do one more exercise. It's one more from the Java assignments that my student Lisa sent me. Okay, but this application can be easily done in a C++. Of course, it will be a similar way like we did it in Java. And of course, in these tutorials we are learning to do some exercise, not so easily. Okay, first basic ones, and then a little more complex or advanced. And we are learning how can we do it in Java, C++, or any other language we will do in Scala. Why not? And let's see this assignment. If you were with me in Java, if you watched my Java tutorials, you already know this application. If no, it doesn't matter. We will do it now. This is one problem statement. During the tax season, every Friday, Najafi Accounting Service provides assistance to customers who prepare their own tax returns. For their services, NACE will charge the customer according to the following rules. Okay, if income is lesser or equal than 25,000, there will be no charge. And otherwise, if it's greater than 25,000, from 25,000 until 50,000, the customer will be charged at rate $1 per minute, and otherwise, if it is greater, it will be charged $2 per minute. Okay, we need to develop this application. Okay, we will have some options. We need to calculate these taxes, and we will have the option to do it a couple of times. We will have continue and stop option, but we will talk later about that. And we need to use methods. Okay, this is for Java, but of course we will use functions in this application. It is important. This is one of the assignments from the one Java course. And okay, here it need to be created methods, but of course this in C++ we will create completely the similar functions that we will do the same thing. Okay, we'll have greeting, get annual income. Okay, but we will do it step by step. This means here how need to look our program. Welcome to NACE. This will be one of the welcome message. We need to input income. As you can see, it means that probably that we need income need to be a positive number. Okay, we have some loop about hours, some criteria. And we need after that depending of the income charge will be calculated, and after that we will have the option to continue or stop. If we decide to continue, we will input the data again. As you can see, we have income, hours, minutes, and depending of our time, our charge will be calculated. Okay, as you can see, if we when we calculate this, we have option to continue or stop. If we decide continue, we will calculate again. Okay, this is pretty much good, and this is one of the probably a goodbye message. Okay, and let me see just a specification. Can accept any format, lowercase, uppercase. Okay, for continue, any user input other than continue should end the program. Okay, we will create this, but in the C++ will be a little more different. Okay, and let's first let's create, but important thing, let me just see this consulting time for about time. Okay, we already know about income, we will have just one integer variable, but about time we need to see this that reads consulting time in hours and minutes from the user. The method must use essential loop. Okay, we have a range of hours and we have a range of minutes, and once valid are read from the user, then the method should convert the hours and minutes to total minutes. Okay, we will input hours and minutes, but the sum, the charge will be calculated by total minutes. As you can see here, if we type in 2 hours, which is 120 minutes, and if we type 30 minutes, it will be 150. Okay, let's create this in our code blocks. Okay, it's clear. We have just this main function, and let's start. It means that we will have some. Let's create some variables. It will be integer, we will have income, and we will have it will be a time. And let me see this program. As you can see, the charge, as you can see, we have a decimals, and probably we have a 2 decimals. And that means that charge will be float. Okay, float charge. Okay. First, we want to create a function. Let me see of the assignment. First, we need to have welcome message. Okay, it will be a greeting message, and probably this will be one message: welcome to NACE. We will not type, we will just use copy and paste for this to save some time. I will use copy and paste. Let's go to our Eclipse, and we need to create a void method, void function, a greeting. And we will paste it, this text, and now let's use cout. Okay, let's open the quotes. Okay, welcome to NACE will be in one line, and if it's not good, we will fix it later. Let's use cout again for. Okay, this one sentence will be also in one line, but I need a opening and closing quotes. I will use end line again. And I have this sentence. Let's use cout again. I need an opening hook, but it's too much. Okay, here in the income we will finish it, and we will just use semicolon, and this will be moved in another line. Okay, let's try to cout. And let's use end line. We will see how it will gonna look. Let's format this code a little. Okay, now it's good formatted, and we will see how it will gonna work. First, let's call this function greeting to start our application. Let's build and run, and we will see this program. Welcome to NACE. This program, okay, this is well, I don't know. Not so. Maybe I don't know, maybe here in the time, after time, maybe it would be better to enter the new line. Let's time, and let's write new line. Let me see now how it will gonna work. Let's build and run now. Okay, it looks a little better, but here you spent just a second, will be moved a little. Okay, we will return it for one field. Okay, more or less, maybe it should be better. Maybe this welcome to NACE maybe should be in the same line. Maybe yes, maybe no, but okay, this will be the welcome message. Okay, we are not this will be just for application. We will do more important things to create this. Of course, it will be better if our text is well formatted, but okay, it will stay as it is for now. And let's create another. Let's see in the assignment what's the another function. Okay, get annual income that reads the customer annual income from the user and return it to the caller. The method must use essential loop to validate that the annual income is a positive number. Okay, let's copy this. Let's create annual income. Let's create a function, but this function, it will be annual income. It will be int function. It will return an integer. Okay, and let me see now here. I need to look how our output needs to look. Okay, first we need to write start with this message, but inside, okay, I can copy this. Okay, we need to enter the income. But before this, we can create one local variable. It will be integer and it will be I. And let's write the message. Let's opening a quote and we can paste this message. And we will use but I would prefer more to use end line. And let's input this I. But the point is, it needs to be a positive number. That means that this needs to be inside the loop. It will be inside do while loop. Opening here, we will close it here. And we will write while we need to enter until we have a positive number, and we will write until while e is lesser than 0, a loop will works. And okay, this should be good. And this function needs to return an integer, and it will return I. Okay, and let's go to our main. Now we have a greeting message. Now let's define. We can define income. Income will be. We will call this function that we created. It will be get annual income. and we can test it to see how it will gonna work. Build and run. Okay, I should separate it. Okay, let's enter -600. Okay, and this means we entered the negative number -20. Because we entering the negative number, we have the same question, because we need to enter the positive number. If we enter 500, okay, this will be, we have our integer number. If we have, for example, in this case 500, that 500 returns here, and it's our income, which is pretty much simple. And that's good. Our method works perfectly fine. Okay, now let me see another methods. Okay, we resolve this. Please enter. Now let me see another. Now we have this method, a method named get consulting time. We can copy this. We want to have the same name of the method like this, like here in the homework. That reads the consulting time in hours and minutes from the user. The method must use essential loop to validate that hour is greater or equal than 0 and lesser or equal than 5. That means that hour can be in the range from 0 to 5, and this is of course an integer. And we have a minutes, and minutes can be greater or equal to 0 or a lesser or equal to 60, and this is because because 1 hour has 60 minutes. Once valid value is read from the user, then the method should convert the hours and minutes to total minutes. This means that we will need total minutes. If we have, for example, if we enter it in 2 hours, this is 120 minutes. And if we type 30 minutes, this will be 150 minutes. Okay, let's create this. But we need to convert hours in minutes. For this, we can create here, below this standard namespace, we can create a static. One constant, and it will be an integer, and it will be we will call this hour in minutes equals to 60, because we need to convert hour in minutes, and we already know that 1 hour has 60 minutes. And for this we will use, but we are using a static const, because we want to, if we need that to convert, sometimes you need that for just one method, but sometimes you will need in entire application, and you can create this, for example, variable 10-20 times. Because of this, we will have one static constant integer, hour in minutes, and we will use it when we need it. Okay, but let's create this method. We will create it here, and it will also be an integer. The name of the method will be get consulting time. And now let's create a local variables. It will be integer hour and integer minutes. And now we need a do while loop. We need to enter in the hours, but as you can see, hour can be in the range from 0 to 5. And we need to entering, if we, for example, entering 10 hours, we will have the question, again, as you can see here. If we entering 10, we will need a question again, -4 we have again, and here, as you can see, here is the 3, and it's okay. We need to create this. We need to enter. We will write do while loop. Do while. But how we gonna? Okay. R need to be from 0 to 5. And if it isn't, a loop will run. And we will write while R is lesser than 0, and we will use or R is greater than 5. Okay, what this means? If R is lesser than 0, negative number, or if R is greater than 5, a loop will run. And inside we will have the question, cout how many hours. I will use n line. And we need to input, we will use a local variable hour. Okay, until R is lesser than 0 or greater than 5, loop will run. But when we enter the number between 0 and 5, of course this is an integer, a loop will end, and we can return, we will not return, because we need, remember, we need to return a minute. That will be total minutes. And we need to convert these hours to minutes. We will return an integer, but we will not return anything now. And now we need another do while loop. We need to enter in the minutes. Okay, it will be similar. We will have do while loop, do while. Okay, minutes need to be in range from 0 to 60, and the loop will run while minutes is lesser than 0 or minutes is greater than 60. Okay, if we have minutes lesser than 0, negative number, or if minutes is greater than 60, and we know 1 hour has 60 minutes, okay, we need to enter in the minutes again, but we need to write it. Let's write cout how many minutes. And line, and we need to input a local variable minutes. Okay, if we input a number in the range from 0 to 60, we'll have a minutes. And now what we need to, when we defined R and the minutes, we need to redefine a minutes. Or we can create a local variable total, but it's not net. We will just redefine minutes. Minutes will be equals, okay, minutes that we entered plus, but we need to use this const R in minutes plus R in minutes. And of course we need to multiply it with R. What this means? For example, if we enter 2 hours and and it means, and for example 30 minutes. Minutes will be 30 and 2 hours. This means 60 will be multiplied with 2, it is 120. With 30 minutes it will return us 150. Pretty much simple, and we can just return minutes. Okay, this is our entire function, and now we have our time. We can define it. Time equals, and now let's call our function get consulting time, and we can test it. Why not? Let's build and run to see if we, and again I forgot to separate this a little. Okay, let's enter the income. Okay, 1000. How many hours? 15. As you can see, it will ask us again. -1. Again, we have a question because it can be in the range from 0 to 5. If we enter 1, okay, as you can see, and now we have a question. How many minutes? 80 will not work because it needs to be in the range from 0 to 60. And let's type -10. It will, as you can see, it will ask us again, and if we enter 10, it will be good. And we created one more method that works perfectly. Now let's go to the assignment. Let me see what we need to do next. Okay, these three methods are resolved. We have a method named compute charge that receives the customer's annual income and the agent consulting time in minutes and returns the total charges to the customer. Okay, we have, as you remember here, depending, we will calculate our charge depending of this of the income. Okay, and it will need us for that but first let's create that function. It will be compute charge. Okay, charge is float, and that means that this function will this will be float function. Float. The name, we will pass the name compute charge. Okay, but I will go back to the but this that receives the customer annual income. This function need to receive annual income and agent consulting time. Okay, it needs to receive. That means that we need to include two integer variables. It will be a local variables. We will include, it need income and time that we calculated need to be included here to calculate the charge. And this means we need to put two local variables. It will be integer I, which should be income, and integer t, which should be a time. Okay, these are local variables. I could use income and time, but I really don't like to use the same name for the local variables and global variables. If you like it, you can use income and time, but I don't like it. I prefer to have a different name. It will be more confusing. And now let's define one local variable, float. I will define it as C, charge C. Okay, and now we need to go back to the assignment. Okay, if the customer has an annual income that is lesser or equal than 25,000, there would be no charges. It means if income is lesser or equal than 25,000, charge will be 0. There will be no charge. And let's define it. We will use a local variable I. If I is lesser or equal, let me give some space, then 25,000, C, which will be a charge, will be equals to 0. Pretty much simple. Let's go back to the assignment. Now let me see. Otherwise, otherwise, if the customer has an annual income that is greater than 25,000, but lesser or equal than 50,000, then the customer will be charged at a rate $1 per minute. Okay, let's write it. What this means? We need, if this condition is not good, we will need else if condition. And it is if I is greater than 25,000 and I is lesser or equal than 50,000, then charge will be $1 per minute. Okay, charge, it is a C. Okay, I forgot this. We have a local variable C, which will be the charge. C will be equals and $1 per minute. It means we will multiply minute. This will be the time. Will be equals T multiplied with 1. But okay, this T is an integer and this C is a float, and this means that we will just use we will cast this integer. We will do it. We will type float, and in the brackets we will put this T. This means that we will this float, this integer T will have the float value. For example, if we have some integer 5, float value will be 5.0. Okay, and now we need, and we have the last condition. Otherwise, okay, if both conditions are false, otherwise the customer will be charged at rate of $2 per minute. Pretty much simple. We will use else statement. Else, if both conditions are false, C will be equals, okay, it will be charged $2 per minute. We'll use the same float. We will use cast float of integer T, float value of integer T multiplied with 2. Pretty much simple. And with this we will define, depending of our income, we will know our charge, and of course depending of time. And we just need to return, we will return our local variable C, which should be a charge. And now we can define our variable charge will be equals, so let me see the name of the function. Okay, compute charges. Okay, and this means that we define all of these three variables. But okay, we cannot test the charge because okay, we just calculated, we didn't print it. Now let's continue. Let's go to assignment. We need to see what's the next method. Okay, a method named display charge that received the customer annual income the total service time in minutes and total charges to the customer, and display the information in accordance to the following example. Okay, this method needs to include, but when I write this, okay, method name display that received needs to contain it needs to read everything, income, time, and charges, and we need to write this message. Okay, let's write display charges, and let's create a method. It will be a void method. Display charges. But before, here I made one error. I remember when I read this method. Okay, I want to explain you what is there. Okay, we defined a function, float compute charges, that contains two integers, and when we want to call this function, we need to call it with two integer variables. And okay, we have I and t. Of course, it will be income and time. We need to call this function with we will use income, and as you can see, it needs to contain two integer variables. Integer I will be income, and t will be time. And now it will work. Okay, and this one, it needs to contain all of this. It needs to contain income, time, and charge, all of these three. And let's include, it will be the same: integer I, local variables, integer t, and float c. And now let's see this displayed message. Okay, we can use copy and paste, and we will change it and fix it a little. I will now paste it. Okay, let's use cout. Okay, given the customer's annual income. Okay, customers annual income of 70. Okay, this is just one example of number. It needs to be of we will use first, we will end the text, and we will use income. And line. And now here let's continue with the text. And the total service time of, and instead of this 135, we need to end the quotes, and we need time will be integer t, and we need this minutes as text, let's use end line, and let's use cout again. Text will be the customer's charge will be, and we will use instead we will end text here, and we will use our float c, charge. it will be a charge, and it can be I think it will be better to put we can put dollar. We will see how it will gonna look like, and we can start here with slash. Okay, I need to fix it a little. Where is the welcome message? Okay, here welcome message ends. I want to separate this a little from the input. For the input income, I think now it should be a little better, and we can call this method display charge, and needs to contain all of these three variables. It will contain income. Okay, integer I will be income, T will be time, and C will be charge. And we can see how it will gonna work now. Okay, now it's a little separated, it's better. Okay, let's enter 10,000. How many hours? Okay, 5 hours, 20 minutes. As you can see, given the customer's annual income of 10,000 and the total service time of 300, we could also use dollars here. The customer's charge will be $0, but zero is a float number, as you can see. This end, I will just move back for this end a little. And here, 10,000, I also can put dollars. Okay, this end I will return it here. And of E, here I will put also dollar sign to maybe it will be a little more prettier. But before that, I want to write this, as you can see here, before we test it. You see, this is a float number, and we have two decimals here, and we just have a 0. Okay, we can try it again. Let's use build and run. Okay, now it can be 30,000. 2 hours and 30 minutes, as you can see. Now, given the customer annual income of $30,000 and the total service time of 150 minutes, the customer's charge will be $150. The point is, this is charge is a float, but we have just it's printed like an integer. We want to be printed as a float with two decimals. How we gonna do that? Okay, now we can use it in our main function, and we can use it. Okay, we can use it before this greeting function. Okay, here where we declared variables. How we gonna format decimals in C++? First we need to use cout. We need to set f. First we will write iOS 2.fix. It needs to be fixed. Where's fixed? Okay, here it is. Okay, now we need to use again set f iOS and show point. Here it is. And after that we will see out dot precision. In the precision, where is it? Here it is. In the string size we will use how many decimals we want. Okay, in this case we want 2 decimals. And we use it, of course, we use it in the main. It will be recognized because we are calling these methods after this. We declare this in the main, and after that we will call the methods, and it will be affected by this. Let's see. Enter the customer's annual income. It will be okay. It will be 6,000. How many hours? 1 hour, 0 minutes. As you can see, given the customer annual income of $6,000 and the total service time of 60 minutes. Okay, and the customer's charges will be 0.00. As you can see, we use a precision of 2 decimals. Of course, we can use 3 decimals, 4 decimals, but in this case we will just use 2 decimals, which is perfect. Now let's just try with some other number. Okay, let's 53,000, 3 hours, 20 minutes. As you can see, given the customer's annual income of 53,000 and the total service time of 200 minutes. Okay, we didn't. Okay, 200 minutes. 3 hour. Let's check this. 3 hours is 180 minutes, and 20 minutes is 200, which is good. The customer charges will be 400 because it is greater than 50,000, and it means that will be charged $2 per minute, and the customer charge will be 4,000. This works perfectly fine. But we still didn't finish. Okay, this works good. We know calculating charge is perfect, but this is not all, because here let me see. After we calculate this charge, we need a question: do you want to continue or stop? And it will runs if we entering continue, it will be run again. But let me check. Okay, this welcome message will be outputted just once. But if we answering continue, and it's not case sensitive, this is important. As you can see, continue, and here continue. With caps, with uppercase. This means, and any user input other than continue should end the program, but this continue will not be case sensitive, which is interesting. Okay, now we need to do it. Okay, my telephone, couple of always message. Okay, let's continue. No matter. Now we will need for that. We could use do while loop, but for that also we need to create a string. We will need one string. It will be the name of the string, because we will need to enter this string. This will be a response. Will we continue or no? And this string will be entry. We will enter what we want to do. The name of the string will be entry. But we will need to compare strings, and this means we need to include string from the C++ library. Okay, we know to compare strings from the previous tutorial. Okay, we have this greeting. After that greeting, we will create do while loop. Do this while we need a while condition, while, okay, entry, it will, if entry is, if we enter continue, a loop will run and run again. It means entry will be equals to, we'll write continue with uppercase. And okay, and this just to see when we when our charge is displayed, we calculated the charge, we need this question. Okay, let's copy this. Okay, here is the display charge, and below we will write cout, and let's write this message. Okay, but this continue, we don't, this is just input, we don't need it, we just need the question. And I will use end line. And this means, okay, we can use scene, but I prefer more to use, if we need to input a string, we need to use, we will use a get line, we will use scene and our variable entry. But this is, as you remember, but I will show you how it will gonna work, but it will not gonna work. I will show you why. The same thing as we did, similar that we had in Java programming. Okay, 20,000, how many hours? It will be 3 minutes, will be 24. Okay, and we have a question. Do you want to continue? But it's we don't have a question, it's terminated. And why this? Okay, when we entering when we start some application and we starting, if we need to input a string, it's okay. But when we are inputting a numbers, after that will not the same thing as we have in Java. We can't input to with this command. We can input the string, but not like this. Before that, just a second, we need to use scene.ignore. We need to use scene.ignore. And after this ignore, we can input the string again. As we have in Java. Okay, we inputting integers, and after that we are using next line. But first we need to use next line, and then we need to input a string. This is just similar in here in the C++. And I forgot, I will use /n here to separate a little. Now let me see how it will gonna work. Okay, enter 3000, hours will be 5, minutes will be 20. Okay, here is the customer charge will be, okay, 0, because our income is lesser than 25. But now we have a question: do you want to continue or stop? And we want to continue. Now we can input, but as you can see, we enter continue, but it stop. And why is that? I will show you again now, because it is a case sensitive. Okay, let's type again. 40,000, 1 hour and 10 minutes. As you can see, let's check this. 40,000, and the total service time is 70 minutes, 1 hour 60 minutes, and 10 70 minutes, which is okay. And because it is 40,000 is less greater than 25,000 and lesser or equal than 50,000, it will be charged $1 per minute, and the customer charge will be 70, which is perfect. And now we have: do you want to continue or stop? And if we enter continue, Okay, it will run again. Again we can type okay, 0, 5 hours, 10 minutes, but of course we will not have, because our income, we don't have, it will be 0, and of course charge will be 0. Do you want to continue or stop? We can enter something else and it will stop. The point is, if we enter continue with caps lock, with uppercase, caps lock, whatever you want, capital letters, it will work. But if we enter lowercase, it will not gonna work. The similar thing, we will do the similar thing that we did in the previous application. We need to create a function. Let's go up. Okay, we can create a function. Okay, here it will be a void function. It is classic convert function. It contains string with reference s. Let's create a local variable integer x equals to 0, local variable, and now let's use while loop. While x is lesser than s dot length, s of element x will be equals to upper, and inside we will have s of element x, and that should be fine. We created our convert function, and here, okay, when we input our string, we can call the function convert, and we will use our string entry. And now let me see if it will gonna work properly. Let's run this application. Okay, please enter the customer annual income. Okay, 15,000. Okay, let's test ours again. 65. It will not gonna work. -1, it will not gonna work. And if we enter number 4, it works. How many minutes? 65. Not working, but 15 minutes. Okay, given the customer annual income of 15,000, because it is lesser than 25,000, there will be no charge. The customer charges will be 0. Do you want to continue or stop? Now let's use lowercase. Continue, and this means that it's not working. It's not working. Of course that it's not working. We used a while loop. And we forgot to increment. Of course it will not gonna work. Now let's try again. Okay, it happens. What can I do? Annual income 10,000, and how many hours? Okay, 4 hours, 30 minutes, and of course we have no charge, but minutes I'll calculate. 4 hours, it's 240, and 30 minutes 270. Now let's enter continue with a lowercase, and okay, as you can see, now it's working, because now it's not case sensitive. Enter annual income. Now let's try. Now it will be 35,000. Hours will be 2. Minutes will be 15, and as you can see, given the customer annual income of 35,000, and the total service time of 130 is 135 minutes. 2 hours 120 plus 15 minutes is 135. It's pretty much good. 35,000. It means that will be charged $1 per minute and the customer charge will be 135, which is perfect. Now let's enter, continue with first will be capital letter and the rest will be lowercase. And as you can see, it works perfectly fine. Please enter the customer annual income. Now let's type 70,000, 4 hours, 50 minutes. Okay, and let's check. Given the customer annual income of $70,000, okay, and the total service time of 290 minutes. Okay, 4 hours, 240, and 50 is 290. The customer charge, okay, it is greater than 50,000. It will be $2 per minute, and the customer charge will be 580. Okay, do you want to continue or stop? We will type stop. We can type any. If we are typing continue, it will continue, and otherwise it will stop. We will use. We will just use. We can type stop, and it will. It will end. But we forgot just one more thing. We need to be complete. We forgot. Let's create a goodbye. We forgot a goodbye method. Let's create it now. It will be a void goodbye method. It will have simple text, but let me see the text here. Let's copy. Okay, it will be, it was a pleasure serving you, have a nice day. Okay, we will copy and paste it. Let's copy, let's paste it here. It will be pretty much easy. Let's use cout, opening quotes, we will closing quotes here, we will use and line, and here again let's use cout, opening quotes. Okay, we will use interpunction here, and we will use and line, and our application will be completed. And we need to call it here. Okay, after this do while loop, we can call goodbye, starting with greeting function and finish with goodbye function. And now we can just format this entire code. Okay, let's see. It's pretty much good. And let's build and run our application. Okay, enter customer annual income. Okay, it can be 45,000. How many hours? 2 hours, 20 minutes. As you can see, it's 140 minutes, 120 and 140. The customer charges will be $140. Now continue, stop. I don't know. No. Okay, it will, of course, it will stop application. It was a pleasure to serving you, have a nice day, but just I forgot we need to, it needs to start with /n to give a little space. Let's run again. Annual income will be 45,000. How many hours? 5. How many minutes? 60 maximum. Okay. Okay, 45, it will be 360, of course, 360, and the customer charges will be $360. We will stop, we don't want to continue, and it was a pleasure serving you, have a nice day. This works like a charm, even better than Java. Okay, I don't know, you see this code, and I hope that you like this code. What can I tell you? I really hope that you like this tutorial. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You have a link in the description. Okay, if you have some assignment for your course or university, you can contact me also to the Instagram to maybe I can try to help you or to create some new tutorial. Okay, and I really hope that you like this, and I will see you in the next tutorial.